Good morning, everyone. 464 days ago, on March 7th, I was at a Norwich hockey game when I learned we had our first case of COVID-19 in Vermont. I got up from my seat and headed into the office, ready to take on this challenge. We had spent weeks leading up to that moment learning everything we could about this new virus and preparing for what seemed to be the inevitable. A day later, we stood at the Emergency Operations Center to announce that the global pandemic had reached our doorstep. Since then, we've had 145 briefings, many with difficult news and hard choices, others offering reason for hope and confidence in brighter days ahead, and always telling you what we knew, what we didn't know, what actions we were taking, and why. There's no doubt each of us, every single Vermonter, has been through a lot over the last 15 months. Missing time with family and friends, adapting to restrictions, putting off weddings, birthday parties, holidays, and travel, working and learning from home. Or worse, losing loved ones, businesses, or jobs. For 15 months, our daily lives have been impacted by a global, once-in-a-century crisis that required us to do things we never thought we'd have to do. Never did I think I'd be the governor ordering businesses to close, sending kids home from school, or telling people to stay home, to stay safe. I think back to the early days, calling the vice president because we didn't think we had enough test kits to get us through the week, chasing a lead from Congressman Welch, and cold calling someone I'd never met at 10 o'clock on a Friday night in hopes of getting enough PPE for our healthcare workers. There was also a time when, based on what we'd seen in other states, we thought we were going to need refrigerated trailers because hospital morgues might not be able to handle what was coming. Although we faced heartbreaking losses, we're fortunate these types of measures weren't needed, and it was only because of the unity of the people of Vermont, whose commitment to neighbors and community never wavered. At the beginning, I told you we would face, find, and fight this virus together. That's exactly what Vermonters have done and continue to do. And you've done it better than any other place in the country. I also believe that we've done it as well as, or better than, any other place in the world. Together, we built a nation-leading response that kept people safe. Vermont has had among the highest testing and lowest hospitalizations in the country. We've had the fewest deaths and cases per capita in the continental U.S. And keep in mind, this is even after we ended stay home, stay safe, and restarted our economy to put people back to work and kids back in school. Alongside the legislature, and with the strong support of the congressional delegation, we also work to protect those who were hit hardest, providing financial help for individuals, small businesses, laid-off workers, and so many more. We've also built a vaccination program that Vermonters have made the very best there is, without offering financial incentives, other than the occasional maple creamy. Which brings me to why we're here this morning. Today, I'm very proud to announce that Vermont has now become the first state in the nation to vaccinate 80% of its 12 and over population. In a fair comparison to President Biden's goal of 70% of Americans over the age of 18 by July 4th, Vermont has vaccinated 81.8% of 18 plus. We said from the very start, in the face of criticism, that our vaccine strategy would prove to be the most effective in the nation. That in order to protect the most vulnerable, a simple to understand and easy to implement age-banding strategy would deliver the best results. Again, not only did we lead the United States, but Vermont is now a global leader in vaccinations to defeat COVID-19. Our state has shown the world what's possible when you have a group of people with the right attitude, following the data, and trusting medical science. Now, here's the news many have been waiting to hear, and I've been waiting to deliver for 15 months. Now that we hit 80%, as promised, effective immediately, I'm lifting all remaining state pandemic restrictions, and state of emergency will formally end at midnight, June 15th, tomorrow.